been a very busy week, and many of you all saw our show last night. We did a we did a presidential debate recap, presidential debate number 2, recap and fact check. Donald Trump, Facebook fan page, the African History Network, some views last time I checked. And then today I was on Roland Martin Unfiltered, Roland Martin's daily digital show. I'm a panelist on Fridays. So we discussed the debate. We discussed the state of the presidential race. We are 11 days away from the November 3rd election. 47 million people have already voted in over 40 states. Reuters.com reported October 22nd, 2020, U.S. voters have cast more than 47 million votes, for the November 3rd presidential election, eclipsing total early voting from the 2016 election with 12 days to go when this came out October 22nd. Some 47.5 million Americans have turned in ballots, roughly 8 times the number of early votes cast at about the same point in the 2016 election. People are realizing the sense of urgency. They're realizing what is at stake. At the very same time, also on the debate stage last night, try to downplay the severe virus and say we're turning, things like this. And then we see today the ABC News is reporting its highest coronavirus pandemic began. America hit the highest number of coronavirus cases since the pandemic began. Let's see, you have Hill.com reporting about 81,000 cases. The current surge is considerably more widespread than the waves from last summer and spring. The unprecedented geographic spread of the current surge makes it more dangerous, with experts warning it could lead to dire shortages of medical staff and supplies. Already, hospitals are reporting shortfalls of basic drugs needed to treat COVID-19, the disease caused by the novel coronavirus. So while Donald Trump's on the debate stage talking about remdesivir, talking about the experimental drugs he was able to get, all right, you have a shortage of basic drugs for everyday common people in hospitals. At the same time, Donald Trump has his attorney general in court trying to take away health care from at least 20 million people. The case goes before U.S. Supreme Court November 3rd, 2020. November 3rd, 2020, exactly 1 week after the November 3rd election. So people are seeing what is at stake. When Donald Trump asked African Americans, what the hell do you have to lose in 2016? As I told you then, and I'm telling you now, the correct answer is everything. The correct answer is everything. We see that an increase in hospitalizations in 38 states over the past week. The number of deaths nationally has crested above 1,000 in recent days. The last time the country hit a new daily record for coronavirus cases, it was 76,533 on July 17th. 76,533 on July 17th, 2020. Just 4 states accounted for more than 40,000 of those cases: Arizona, California, Florida, and Texas, according to the Washington Post analysis. On Friday, October 23rd, 2020, 11 states accounted for the same lion's share of cases. So you had 4 states that accounted for 40,000 of the cases on July 17th when it set a record, the U.S. set a record of 76,533 cases. Now, Friday, 2020, 11 states account for the lion's share. And in the past 2 weeks, 24 states have broken their records for single-day highs of cases. Check out the article from Washington Post. America hits highest daily number of coronavirus cases since pandemic began. And if we look here, let me flip back over here to Washington Post. We see that we're looking at about 81,000. 82,600. Okay, America on Friday hit its highest daily number of coronavirus cases since the pandemic began, recording at least 82,600, roughly 83,000 in one day, and surpassing the previous record set during the surge of cases across the state. The rising numbers put the precipice of what could be its worst stretch to date in the pandemic, with some hospitals in the West and Midwest already overwhelmed and death counts beginning to rise. So we'll downplay or play down Bob Woodward. The severity of corona is making itself known. So on today's show, we'll do a little more. We'll do a little recap of what took place on the debate stage Thursday night. Check out my broadcast that I did Thursday. We dedicated that whole Thursday show. We're here Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. The African History Network show, and we're still on Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. Okay. Follow us on our Facebook, African History Network, The African History Network. Is The African History. I was running into some problems with the laptop, so we're broadcasting from my phone for this broadcast right now. Laptop I was getting ready to do an interview yesterday, and laptop did an update. Took 2 hours for Windows update. Then today, right before the show, it wanted to continue the Windows update. So it's just one thing after another. But speaking of one thing after another, a second grand juror regarding the Breonna Taylor case is speaking out against Attorney General Daniel Cameron in Kentucky. We'll give you an update on what's taking place with that. Also, we'll talk about U.S. hits highly daily number of coronavirus cases ever. And earlier in the week, we talked about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa, Oklahoma was the scene of a massacre, June 1st, 1921, in North Tulsa, where you had Black Wall Street. Well, there's a effort to search for to dig up a mass grave, searching for the remains of victims of that 1921 Tulsa massacre. And ABC News and the Associated Press and NBC News are reporting on October 22nd that 12 unmarked coffins have been discovered buried in Tulsa's Oaklawn Cemetery. And they are wondering if these were victims of that 1921 race massacre. Okay, so we'll talk about all this and more on today's edition of the African History Network show. Now, on the African History Network show, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world. Because right now, it's correct wrong behavior. What you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you and get away with is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you have been taught about yourself. What you've been taught about yourself is based upon everything you've read, heard, and seen about yourself. So when you control the radius of a man's thoughts, you can control the compass of his actions, because the mind can't do or teach what it doesn't know. Now we deal with a number of different topics here on the African History Network show. We deal with current events in history, politics, education, economic empowerment, entrepreneurship, relationships, love, sex, health issues, and much, much more. Sign up for our email newsletter. Text the word Kemet, K-E-M-E-T. Text the word Kemet, K-E-M-E-T, to 22828. To sign up for our email newsletter. Also visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. If you'd like this type of information, you can donate to the African History Network, $TheAHNShow through Cash App, $TheAHNShow through Cash App, or through PayPal, paypal.me /TheAHNShow, paypal.me/TheAHNShow. And also at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. So the donations definitely help out, especially being that we're here 6 days a week as opposed to 1 day a week. Okay, that helps us keep doing the research, stay on the air, keep broadcasting. Roland Martin will be coming to Detroit. He's on the road. He was in Florida. He's broadcasting from Florida Friday. He'll be on the road next week. He'll be broadcasting in Detroit on Wednesday. Once location is made known, I'll let you know. I may be on his panel also Wednesday. I talked to him today briefly because he was getting set up in Florida, and I was on his show today also. So we'll keep you abreast on what's taking place there. All right. Let's see. We're coming up here on a break in a few minutes. So let's jump into this. Very quickly here, we'll do a little recap of Thursday's debate. So Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden took to the debate stage at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee on Thursday, October 22nd. In the final presidential debate, they covered a wide range of topics in a generally more substantive way, thanks in part to fewer interruptions because of microphones being muted for initial responses. Also, you had a better moderator. Kristen Welker, NBC News White House correspondent, was excellent. I watch her on MSNBC, and she was excellent as a moderator. Okay, and she's getting high praise. She's been getting high praise all day today for the way she handled the debate yesterday. So we did some fact checking yesterday, and I was going through looking at fact checking from 5 different sources: ABC News, New York Times, Washington Post, NBC News, CBS, CNN. CNN has a good article, hits and misses from the final presidential debate. Hits and misses from the final presidential debate. They have hits for Joe Biden, lines like "We're learning to live with it." Well, Donald Trump said, "We're learning to live with coronavirus. We're learning to live with it." Joe Biden said, "We're dying with it. We're dying with it." And then also when Biden turned to the camera, and when Trump is making allegations about Biden's family, Hunter Biden, Biden turns to the camera and says, "It's about your family." So check this out. Check out this article here from CNN.com. Hits and misses from the final presidential debate. Hits and misses from the final presidential debate. If we look very quickly here at fact checking, I know we're coming up here on a break in just a minute here. If we look at, we try to squeeze an additional fact check that we did not get to on yesterday's show. And also the calling number is 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600 is the calling number if you have a question or comment. So Donald Trump falsely claims that kids are not transmitting coronavirus. He falsely claims that kids are not transmitting coronavirus to teachers. Okay, he's trying to force schools open, really pushing to get schools open so he can get the economy back open, so he can stay in the White House and the statute of limitations runs out on these prosecutions at the state level, like in the state of New York. Okay, Trump said, "I want to open the schools. The transmittal rate to the teachers is very small." Now, the fact check is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has updated its guidance to note a, quote, "body of evidence is growing," end quote, that kids might play a role in transmission. Children might play a role in transmission. Still, the role of community transmission is not yet fully understood. In one recent study, the CDC found transmission is unclear. Quote, "Recent evidence suggests that children likely have the same or higher viral loads in their same viral loads in their nasal capacity, nasopharynx, compared paired with adults, and that children can spread the virus effectively in households and camp settings. All right. Now, the problem, one of the biggest problems is that we have a surge in coronavirus cases. Okay, we hit a record, and actually we hit a record on Thursday as well. So we're hitting a record 2 days in a row, and we're in flu season. So you're going to have the convergence of people getting hit with coronavirus and or the flu, and you're going to have hospitals overran as well. Okay, we're coming up here on the break. You listen to the African History Network show right here on 9:10 a.m. Superstation Future Radio. I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. We'll be back in a few minutes. For 25 years, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum has carried on the rich legacy of the Black Museum movement in America by showcasing original artifacts of the Black experience at colleges, universities, K-12 schools, corporations, libraries, conferences, and cultural events, making it the most traversed Black History mobile exhibit in American history. Dr. Khalid El Hakim is the founder of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and he is a highly sought-after public speaker on topics of Black history, social studies, education, museum studies, hip-hop, and race relations. Dr. Khalid was named among the change makers for NBC Universal's Erase the Hate campaign and listed as one of the 100 men of distinction for Black enterprise. He recently founded the Michigan Hip Hop Archive on the campus of Western Michigan University. The Black History 101 Mobile Museum is currently scheduling in-person and virtual exhibits nationwide. For more information, please contact Dr. Khalid El Hakim directly at 313-645-4197, 313-645-4197, or visit their website at blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. That's blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. You can also email him at bhistory101@yahoo.com, bhistory101@yahoo.com. Have you tasted the world famous No Frowny Brownie yet from the Pink Bakery? If not, what are you waiting for? They are vegan, gluten-free, and free of the big 8 allergens. While eating their No Frowny brownies, the fabulous Miss Tabitha Brown said they were very good. Very good. And you know, if she says that, they are. The Pink Bakery is the first Black-owned, Big 8 allergen-free baking mix company. Go to thepinkbakery.com, that's thepinkbakery.com, to order their No Frowny Brownie Mix today. Ya Rule is a line of African print-inspired apparel catered to the Black community. The pieces include t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, jackets, dresses, skirts, activewear, bags, and other accessories and home decor. This brand offers a revived way for men and women to wear their Black pride and honor their African heritage anywhere at any time. This apparel line is for anyone, whether you are working in the corporate world, are an entrepreneur, or an artist. Their selection will allow you to casually let your pride shine or dress it up as wanted. It is for those who have already embraced African fabrics and for those who are just getting introduced to them. Reclaim and experience a part of our culture with rich and colorful African prints. The clothing line and the accessories are available right now starting at $17.99. For more information on the new items and accessories, visit yayarule.com. Welcome back to the African History Network show right here on 9:10 a.m. Superstation Future Radio. Hey, I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. It is Friday, October 23rd, 2020, and we are live. Hope everybody's doing well. Calling numbers 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600 is the calling number if you have a question or comment. All right, so be sure to check out the debate recap that we did on Thursday, October 22nd. And check out some of the articles I've been posting on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network. All right, we've been dealing with what's going on, topics, issues, etc. And be sure to listen to our Sunday night show, okay? Because we're going to get deeper into this. We'll do some more fact checking. We'll cover some territory that we haven't been able to cover during our weekly shows. Sunday we're on for 2 hours. And then I'm also going to compare the Jobs and Justice bill from the Congressional Black Caucus, the Jobs and Justice bill that they got passed in the House of Representatives. We're going to compare that to Donald Trump's Fool's Gold Plan, the Fool's Gold Plan, or what he calls the Platinum Plan. Because we talked about the Jobs and Justice Act of 2020, and that goes much further than Donald Trump's plan, okay? And it's comprehensive. We talked about it in September, and we talked about it earlier this week also, okay? So look out for that. We'll do that on our Sunday night show as well. All right, let's see here. Let's go back to this fact checking very quickly, and then I'm going to play this clip from Roland Martin Unfiltered when I was on earlier today. So we were dealing with Trump falsely claiming that kids cannot transmit coronavirus. All right. So in one recent study, the CDC found transmission is unclear. Recent evidence suggests that children likely have the same or higher viral loads in their nasopharynx compared with adults, and that children can spread the virus effectively in households and camp settings. Now, schools have not been studied as closely because many remain closed and not every school is reporting outbreaks. One concern is that children might be transmitting the virus without exhibiting symptoms. One concern is that children might be transmitting the virus without exhibiting symptoms. And testing people without symptoms remains limited. Overall, officials say the lower transmission levels in a community, the less likely schools will spread the virus. Overall, officials say that the lower transmission levels in community, the less likely schools will spread the virus. Okay, and let's see here. Let's try to relaunch this again also. So we should be on Facebook and YouTube as well. Our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network, and our YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep. Should be broadcasting there. All right. Okay. All right, calling numbers 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. It's a calling number if you have a question or comment. Let's go to, I want to go to this clip here, Roland Martin Unfiltered. We were discussing the state of the race and the different states, and talked a little bit about what took place on the debate stage Thursday night as well. Let's go to the, so we have Dr. Carter, Dr. Nyambi Carter is speaking, and then you'll hear me also. Let's go to this clip. We have the clip.
Jamie Harrison, the first candidate ever to break the $100 million barrier. He is raising $1.5 million a day. It is a tight race in South Carolina. Many people are shocked that he is doing so well, according to the polling, and raising this kind of money against Senator Lindsey Graham. We also see what is happening in these critical Senate races all across the country. Arizona, where Mark Kelly is up against Martha McSally. Also, Colorado, Hickenlooper is up against Corey Sanders. Then, of course, you have the race taking place in Iowa, in Maine. The Democratic candidates are up. But we're seeing some softness on the Democratic side, where it's a tight race for the Democratic Senator Smith in Minnesota. Gary Peters is in a tough race against John James in Michigan. Then, of course, we have Espy in Mississippi, Cal Cunningham versus Senator Tom Tillis in North Carolina. You also have Hagar against John Cornyn. In Texas, Republicans are having to defend a whole lot of turf. Democrats simply need to pick up 3 Senate seats. If they win the White House, Kamala Harris is a tiebreaker. They want to win at least 5 to 6 seats. And don't forget, Ossoff in Georgia leading against Purdue. Purdue, of course, screwed up, mocking Senator Kamala Harris's name. That has helped John Ossoff. Raphael Warnock has now jumped ahead in the polling of Senator Kelly Loeffler and Congressman Doug Collins. And so this map, how it's playing out, Democrats are competing in places historically they have not been able to compete. It shows you the kind of intensity on the Democratic side and how Donald Trump is also pissed off many older white voters, independent voters as well.
Absolutely, and I think it shows sort of how short his coattails really are, because it was fine when it was looking at the second term before COVID came, and then post-COVID, people had some explaining to do because many of these communities are hurting, and it shouldn't be the case that you have long-term incumbents being in dead heat with relative newcomers to these places. So I think it shows that if you put in the work, I mean, this is what Jesse Jackson said in the 1980s, right? That Reagan won by the margin of despair. And I think Democrats finally are getting that message in some of these places and saying, we've left these votes on the table for far too long. These states are actually in play. And thankfully, you had new folks coming on the national scene like Stacey Abrams and others who have been building infrastructures in these places to make them competitive. Now, Democrats have to press the gas here, right? They cannot do what they normally done and just sort of say, okay, well, we got this place, we're comfortable. No, you have the money, you need to spend it, and you need to spend it all and max out in these places to make sure that people are still turning out to vote, because we have to remember voter intimidation is also on the rise in a lot of these places that we're talking about, not just suppression. So I think it's now the time for the Democrats to turn it on and go full out here in these places, whether it's South Carolina or North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Texas for sure. They have got to pour it on, and these down ballot races are critical, right, to what's going to happen with whoever becomes president. So they definitely have to make a play in all of these places, because these are vulnerable seats that shouldn't be vulnerable, quite frankly. So that tells you that people are right to make a new choice.
There are very few undecideds out here, Michael Imhotep. It's really about turning out your people. Democrats are turning out in significant numbers. Republicans, though, have been listening to Donald Trump. They've been focused on voting on Election Day. Many people are predicting a huge surge of Republican voters. Democrats want to build up as large a lead as they can when it comes to mail-in voting and early voting as well. And so really right now, it's not about what more messaging you can put out to try to get people to come to your side. It's about how can you get your people out to the polls as much as possible.
Yeah, it's about turnout, but also more than just about turnout, Roland. So first of all, we see as of Thursday, October 22nd, Reuters is reporting 47 million people have voted early. Okay, huge increase over 2016, this time 2016. But it's about turnout, but not just about turnout, Roland. It's also about speaking to the issues and concerns of the voter, African-American voters, Hispanic voters, whoever. And I think that connecting with the message, dealing with coronavirus, the impact coronavirus has had on communities, African-American community, Hispanic community, et cetera. We're at about 223,000, 224,000 deaths, 8.4 million cases. We just saw today it set a record 81,000 cases, highest number of cases. Okay, so while Trump is on the debate stage last night trying to downplay the severity and saying we're about to turn a corner, around the corner is more deaths. Around the corner is more cases. So it's speaking to the issues, needs, and concerns, dealing with getting coronavirus under control, expanding the economy, opening the economy back up, his Build Back Better plan, 18 million jobs that his plan will create, 7 million more than Trump, clean, green energy jobs, et cetera. Speaks directly to the issues, not playing gospel music in the commercials, but speak to the issues and concerns of the voter.
All right. Pause it right there, Mike.
Well, again, that's exactly what.
Pause right there. Okay, thanks. Okay, check that out. You can check that out, the full show, Roland Martin, on Facebook and YouTube. Also, we posted it on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network. That's the October 23rd edition of Roland Martin Unfiltered. We'll play another segment of that on Sunday show also. Okay. All right. Calling number is 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600 is the calling number if you have a question or comment. Okay. 313-778-7600. So we have the U.S. hitting a record number of coronavirus cases today, rather than about 83,000. Okay. And this is second day in a row it's hit a record. This is taking place. You have hospitalizations in 38 states. All right. This is all an example of how elections have consequences. Okay. This is all an example of how elections have consequences. Now, I may be able to. Let's see. All right. Well, no, I don't think we're gonna have time for another. We may have time for another clip. We'll see what we can do here. What I want to do, I want to go to this other story here in just a second here. Hold on. Okay. Let's shift gears here and let's go to the Breonna Taylor case. So we have another update in the Breonna Taylor case. Now, a couple nights ago, we talked about how you had one juror who came out and said that they were not given the option to recommend homicide charges against any of the officers involved in killing Breonna Taylor. And then now you have a second juror who's come out and said the same thing. So things are getting worse and worse for Attorney General Daniel Cameron. Okay. And things are getting worse and worse for Attorney General Daniel Cameron. We see the Associated Press as well as TheAHNShow has an article dealing with this. If I could find it. I don't know where the hell it went. It's oh, here we go. All right. I got like literally about 100 articles in front of me, so you just got to bear with me. TheHill.com reported October 22nd, 2020, second grand juror in Breonna Taylor case says jury only allowed to consider wanton endangerment charges. Jury only allowed to consider wanton endangerment charges. Now, another grand juror in the Breonna Taylor came forward Thursday, October 22nd, saying the grand jury was only allowed to consider wanton endangerment charges against former officer Brett Hankinson. Okay. Now, the juror in the this juror is the second to come forward since Jefferson County Circuit Judge Annie O'Connell allowed those on the grand jury to speak about the case publicly this week. Quote, the grand jury was only allowed to consider the 3 wanton endangerment charges against Detective Brett Hankinson, end quote, according to a statement released by attorney Kevin Glogauer, the attorney representing this juror. Now, the juror's name has not been released just for a couple of days ago. Okay. And so they are maintaining anonymity, but a judge is allowing them to speak out. Okay. So Attorney Glogauer is representing another member of the grand jury who spoke out on Tuesday, saying the Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, who's caught a lot of backlash, caught a lot of heat, that he never presented homicide charges, in the case against police officers involved in Breonna Taylor's death. Both Glogauer's clients have chosen to remain anonymous. Quote, no opportunity to consider anything else was permitted. No opportunity to consider anything else was permitted. Anonymous grand juror agrees wholeheartedly with the statement released on behalf of grand juror number 1 on October 20th, 2020, and is looking forward to continuing to help set the record straight, end quote, the statement says. Now, Tuesday, the first grand juror said that they wanted to, quote, get the truth out about Breonna Taylor's case. Get the truth out about Breonna Taylor's case. We talked about that here on this show. And the judge, when we look at the reporting from NBCnews.com, juror in Breonna Taylor case said grand jury didn't agree fatal shooting was justified. Now, this statement came after a judge, this is from October 20th. The statement came after a judge ordered records in the proceedings released to show if, quote, publicly elected officials are being honest. To show if, quote, publicly elected officials are being honest. Hey, I just sent you the second clip, Mike, if you can cue that up for me. Okay. So check out the article from October 20th, 2020 from NBC News. And this coincides. The second juror is echoing what the first juror said. Now, the grand jury did not agree, quote, the grand jury did not agree that certain actions were justified, nor did it decide the indictment should be the only charges in the Breonna Taylor case. Given the opportunity to deliberate on those charges and deliberated only on what was presented to them. I cannot speak for other jurors, but I can help the truth be told, the first juror said. I cannot speak for other jurors, but I can help the truth be told. Now, it is unclear if the jurors will reveal more information or if any other jurors will speak out. So, as a lot of legal experts, were saying, the Attorney General, Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron acted more as a defense attorney for the officers, as opposed to an attorney for the people of the state of Kentucky. He acted more as a defense attorney for the officers. All right, now it is unclear if the jurors will reveal more information or if any other jurors will speak out. Now, Breonna Taylor was shot in her home earlier this year when plainclothes officers carried out a no-knock warrant, forcing their way into her apartment. Okay, so check out the rest of this article here. This is from thehill.com, and it's entitled "Second Grand Juror in Breonna Taylor Case says jury only allowed to consider wanton endangerment charges." Second grand juror in Breonna Taylor case says jury only allowed to consider wanton endangerment charges. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Thomas. Hey, Thomas, welcome to the African History Network show. Tell us where you're calling from. Thanks for holding.
I'm calling from the east side of Detroit. How you doing this evening?
East side of Detroit. I'm all right, brother. Go ahead with your question or comment.
Listen, this is my comment. First of all, I already voted.
Okay.
I voted for the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I got some issues, man. The money, the unemployment is about to run out. I ain't got no job.
No, when you say when you say unemployment is about to run out, so you're talking about from the state of Michigan?
From the state of Michigan.
Okay.
The unemployment is about to run out.
Okay.
And this is what my dilemma is.
Right.
I don't want to run out here. I've been healthy. I don't want to go into an environment where the virus is already. I'm coming to the point where I don't got no choice.
Right. You don't want to be exposed. Yeah, you don't want to be exposed. Yeah. Hopefully there'll be an extension, because with the coronavirus bill that's being held up at the federal level, there's funding in that to help states, so that the states can extend the so the states can extend the number of weeks that you have coverage as well from that. And it's possible that I don't know, but it's possible maybe Governor Gretchen Whitmer will extend the number of weeks also. We'll have to see. But yeah, this is a predicament. This is a predicament, man. But keep in mind,
we hoping for that.
Yeah, but keep in mind. Go ahead.
If it don't happen, I'm gonna have to get out there.
Right.
I have no choice.
Right.
I gotta. It's winter time.
Right.
Winter is rapidly approaching.
Right.
I got to be able to keep my utilities on. I got to be able to feed myself.
Right, exactly. I understand that. All right, brother. And I know on the different shows here, man, they have information about assistance and help and things like that. And as we come across that, we'll share that with the listeners as well. Okay, thanks for coming. Thanks for calling, Thomas. Now, and also, once again, everybody see, this is an example of how elections have consequences. Now, it's important for people to understand this. We talked about this here. We talked about this months ago. Democrats, now I'm neither Democrat nor Republican, but I ain't stupid either. I see who is passing policies that are more beneficial for us, and I see who is blocking those policies also. Democrats in the House of Representatives, May 2020, I think it was May 15, 2020, passed a $3.4 trillion HEROES Act in the House of Representatives. It was coronavirus aid. It would extend the federal unemployment insurance. It would give aid to states that are being crushed by the weight of having to pay out unemployment insurance, things like this. It had funding for hospitals, more funding for small businesses, the personal protection loans, the PP loans, all of that. It goes to the Senate and is stuck in the Senate. And then Moscow Mitch McConnell allows the Senate to go on a 1-month recess. There's normal recess during the summer, but wait a second, you went on recess and you didn't pass a bill to bail out the American public. Okay, and then July 1st, 2020, July 31st, 2020 was the deadline for, that was the last day that people will receive the extra $600 a week in federal unemployment insurance. Okay, everybody knew, the House knew, the Senate knew, Democrats, Republicans knew that was the deadline, July 31st, 2020. Well, in the Senate, you let them go on a 1-month recess, haven't come to an agreement, haven't passed a bill. Okay, and you know that July 31st is the deadline, but you allow that to come and go in the Senate. This is an example of how elections have consequences, right? So this is what we're dealing with. All right, I want to go to this clip here. So right after the debate last night, there were so many lies that Donald Trump told. There were some untrue statements from Biden, but the majority, as Washington Post reported, the lion's share of the false statements, okay, were from Trump. The lion's share of the false statements, just grossly false. Okay. Also, I got a text message here. Governor Whitmer signed a extension for unemployment earlier this week. Okay. All right. I thought I heard something about that. I wasn't exactly sure. I knew there was some talk about that. Okay. Yeah, so check that out. Probably check out freak.com, news.com, Thomas. All right. Thanks, Mike. Okay. So right after the debate last night on MSNBC, Rachel Maddow said that she had to do a fact check and clear up like some very serious falsehoods that Donald Trump is spreading. Let's go to this clip.
There, and kudos to him for doing so quickly. I do think there were a number of lies that are potentially dangerous to leave hanging out there for the American people, specifically about COVID, and I just want to highlight a couple of those. The president did say tonight, again, that there is a cure for coronavirus. There is not a cure for coronavirus, and every time the president says that, he is misleading the American people in a way that is potentially very dangerous. If people are calibrating the riskiness of their behavior based on how serious it will be if they get infected, the president telling you it's a cure is something that could kill you. because there is no cure. And he says it over and over again, and it is not true. He said U.S. excess mortality rate is lower than almost any other country. That's not true. We have one of the worst excess mortality rates in the entire country. The president said he's been congratulated by many countries on what we've been able to do. We have the worst COVID outbreak on earth and the most of our citizens dead. Anybody who's congratulating him on that doesn't mean it in a good way. The president also said, as Brian noted, that we are rounding the corner. It's going away. We are rounding the bend, rounding the spikes and so on. There's no sign of that whatsoever. In fact, it looks like our country is heading into a third peak that looks like it will be higher than any other peak that we have had thus far. That means more people sick, more people infected, more people spreading it, more people in the hospital, and ultimately more of us dead. The president tells a lot of lies about COVID, and we don't in fact check everything that he said right now, but there's no reason to believe that military families gave it to him. I don't know why he keeps saying that. I don't know why he says that young people are of no concern if they get infected. The president's saying tonight that the transmittal rate to the teachers is very small. You know, in Florida alone, in September alone, 189 teachers were infected between September 6th and September 26th. Writing off the teachers and saying, don't worry, the kids won't give it to you. The president is just flat out making that up, and it's potentially dangerous. The president also trying to give the impression tonight that it's only states where there are Democratic governors that have trouble with coronavirus right now, completely ignoring the fact that the state with the highest coronavirus rate of increase in the country right now, the worst COVID outbreak, in fact, on earth right now, is in the state of North Dakota, which is not run by a Democrat. Neither is Tony Fauci a Democrat. And I know there's a lot that the president said that was wrong tonight. There's a lot of fact checks, but I feel like the COVID ones are just dangerous, and so we have to get to them right away. Nicole.
All right. So check that out from MSNBC.com. October 22nd, 2020, Trump presents range of falsehoods and lies about COVID in debate. Trump presents range of falsehoods and lies about COVID in debate. That's from Rachel Maddow's show. All right. Let's, man, this hour goes by quickly. So let's switch gears, and we have an update in the search for the remains of victims in the 1921 Tulsa massacre in North Tulsa, where Black Wall Street was. ABCnews.com reported October 22nd, 2020, as well as WSMV.com. October 21st, 2020. They picked up this story from Associated Press. Now, we posted the story from WSMV.com. We posted that on our Facebook fan page. You got about 2,500 likes. A team discovered 12 unmarked coffins buried in Tulsa's Oaklawn Cemetery. A team discovered 12 unmarked coffins buried in Tulsa's Oaklawn Cemetery. A team of experts searching for victims of Tulsa, Oklahoma's 1921 race massacre uncovered what it says is a mass grave on Wednesday, October 21st, nearly 100 years after white mobs burned down a section of town known as Black Wall Street. Now, it wasn't just the Greenwood district. It was also all of North Tulsa they went into. Now, they didn't burn down all of North Tulsa, a lot of it. They didn't burn down the Booker T. Washington High School. That was used as a makeshift hospital by the American Red Cross. North Tulsa is where the African Americans lived. South Tulsa is where the white people lived. It was the railroad tracks that separated North Tulsa from South Tulsa. Black Wall Street was the business district that started with the intersection of Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. Okay, it's believed this is where the Gap Band gets their name from, GAP, Gap, because they're from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, the group of archaeologists, anthropologists, and historians discovered 12 unmarked coffins containing human remains buried at Tulsa's Oaklawn Cemetery. The discovery comes one day after the group discovered remains in another unmarked coffin nearby. Okay, the discovery comes one day after the group discovered remains in another unmarked coffin nearby. Quote, this is just an incredible moment, end quote. Oklahoma State archaeologist Kerry Stakelbeck said Thursday. Quote, we still have many questions to answer, but we are definitely a step closer to getting answers, end quote. Now, the mass grave is located near the headstones of the only two known massacre victims buried in the black section of the Potter's Field at Oaklawn. Now, this week's discovery was made in an area known as the Original 18 site. The Original 18 site. Funeral home records show that at least 18 massacre victims were buried in this area. The site is one of several around Tulsa, Oklahoma, that the group plans to search as part of a city-backed effort to investigate stories of mass graves connected to the massacre. Historian Scott Ellsworth said, quote, while we know that there are at least 18 identified and unidentified but known African-American massacre victims buried in Oaklawn, we're looking for any and all riot victims. We're looking for any and all riot victims. Now, it's estimated that in doing my research, I've done a 2.5-hour lecture dealing with the history of Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so in doing my research, we see that there's approximately 1,200 homes that were destroyed. Approximately 300 of those homes were looted. Over 4,000 people were left homeless. There was about 11,000 people who lived in North Tulsa, the overwhelming majority of them African American, but there were some a small number of Creek Indians that lived there as well. We know that Tulsa, Oklahoma was founded by Creek Indians around 1834, 1836, when they get pushed off their land in southeastern United States because of the Indian Removal Act of 1830, and the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, Cherokee, and Seminole Indians all go out west on what's known as the Trail of Tears, over 1,000 miles, and they take the African slaves with them, because all 5 of those Native American nations also owned African slaves as well. Okay, and the Creek go into what's called Tulsa, but Tulsa comes from a Creek Indian word, Tallahassee. Tulsa comes from the Creek Indian word Tallahassee. Now, you also had over 1,000 people who are going to spend the winter in tents. 1,000 African Americans spend the winter in tents because their homes are destroyed as well. How much time we have left, Mike? Send me a text message. Now, work is now underway to determine if the remains found in the mass grave are connected to the massacre. Experts say the remains are fragile, and describe the preservation level as, quote, less than ideal. Preservation level less than ideal. They say they do not plan to remove the remains from the coffins until they can be fully excavated and analyzed. The next step is to submit the permits required to exhume the remains. Okay. So check out the rest of this story at abcnews.go.com. Mass grave discovered in search for 1921 Tulsa race massacre victims. All right. Hey, if you like this type of information, please donate to the African History Network. $ the AHN Show through Cash App. $ the AHN Show through Cash App. Then also at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. That helps us keep doing research. All my lectures are available at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Remember, at the African History Network show, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. Stay tuned for Michael Baston. We'll talk to you Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace. Revitalizing, restorative, indulgent, essential. Crea's Love Butter Raw Shea Butter Collection. How do we know if our skin products are truly delivering all of the health benefits they should? Crea's Love Butter is a thoughtful combination of hand-selected ingredients designed to enhance the level of your skin's health. Crea's Love Butter is an ideal gift for health-conscious loved ones and is a pleasure to both give and receive. They've harnessed the restorative powers of raw shea butter and infused it with their love and passion for revitalizing skin that you will undoubtedly feel from the first use. Visit their website today, creaselovebutter.com. CREAS, creaselovebutter.com. Put your skin in the game.
Melanize Media is an independently Black-owned and operated film company. We specialize in producing culturally enriching Black films and videos at melanizemedia.com. Join us every Sunday for Melanize Nights, where we screen a socially conscious documentary film or Black historic presentation. That's every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Visit melanizemedia.com to learn more and to register. That's MELANEYES media.com. Peace.
Al-Qibalan's lifestyle attitude is servitude. They focus on providing you quality products and customer service. They're here to fulfill your African men's and women's clothing, accessories, health and beauty products, essential oils and fragrances, hair care products, and much, much more. Check out their collection of clothing and products for African kings and queens. Visit their website, alkebulanlife.com, ALKEBULAN, alkebulanlife.com. They look forward to serving you. All right, stand by, guys. Let me disconnect this call from the station. Okay, and then we'll be back. We'll be back Sunday night for our regular show. We're still on Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, and we have a show on Sunday. We'll do more fact checking from the presidential debate. We'll talk about what's going on in the race. We'll deal with some history. They give an update, any updates on Tulsa. There's some other things we'll talk about on Sunday's show. Okay. All right. So how's everybody doing? We've got Toya, we've got Alicia, and we'll play some more clips from when I was on Roland Martin Unfiltered from today. There's another massacre. We'll deal with Florida, this massacre that took place in Florida back in 1920. We have an update on that as well. So there's a lot going on. I'm preparing the content for Sunday's show. So we have a jam-packed show on Sunday. We'll give an update on what's going on with coronavirus as well. Okay. All right. Follow us on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network, and on our YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, IMHOTEP. And then visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. All of my DVD lectures are there. We have digital downloads also. And you can also donate to the African History Network as well. Hey, if you want to advertise with that, I forgot to tell you. Okay, it's been a busy day. It's been a busy week. I forgot to say. You can advertise with the African History Network. You can advertise on our weekly show. Okay, and we created a video commercial for you. Or you can just one. And when we rebroadcast the show, your video commercial will be there. And then also during the commercial breaks, I do I'll promote your business also during our commercial breaks. Email us at customerservice@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, customerservice@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. We have a few spots left. Okay, you can promote your African American owned business with the African History Network. And then also your commercial will be in the audio podcast of our shows. We'll be uploading audio podcasts this weekend of our shows. I haven't done 6 days a week since 2017. So I'm trying to get used to doing 6 days a week. It's just I totally had to change my schedule and sleeping patterns and things like that. But we're on 9 different audio podcast platforms. We're on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Castbox, Stitcher, FM Player, TuneIn. So these shows are in audio podcast format, so people will hear your commercials. And we're on Facebook live and on YouTube, and we rebroadcast those also. Okay. Email us, service@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, customer service at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Our Sunday night show is totally sold out. I don't have any more inventory available for the Sunday night show, but your commercial will run during our shows Monday through Friday. Okay. So email us at customer service. Okay. What did you say is wrong? Email us at customer service at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Let me test. Grand Juror. Let me test something here. Okay. Y'all should be able to hear me okay. All right. All right. Email us at customer service at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, and also post the name of your African-American owned business here on the thread of the broadcast as well. All right, look, hey, we have to get out of here. We'll talk to you all Sunday night, okay? Peace. Are you ready for a new black economy? Well, Hapi, The Role of Economics in the Development of Civilization, is a brand new documentary that will set you on a new path of knowledge and enlightenment. The Hapi film gives viewers a snapshot of our economic history from the dawn of civilization right up until today. The underlying theme of the film is the interrelationship between the three essential components of economics, politics, and culture. Hapi brings together the brightest and most prolific minds in the fields of psychology, history, business, and politics, such as Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Professor James Small, Dr. Julian Malveaux, Dr. Zahi Hawass, and Jabari Osazi, and more. Together, they deliver a message of cooperative economics, financial independence, and a pride that we can all be inspired by. The film is on sale now. It's streaming on all digital formats, or for DVD, please visit Hapi, H-A-P-I, HapiFilm.com. Use offer code Hapi, AHN, for a 10% discount. Sage and Elm Apothecary creates unique products, especially with you in mind. They use simple ingredients such as whole fruits, herbs, and vegetables. Each product crafted offers a unique plant-based experience. Their holistic approach to self-care formulate their product inventory. They're proud to serve our community of plant-based product supporters and offerings for the entire family. Sage and Elm Apothecary designs over 60 different beautifully handcrafted soaps, natural toothpaste, hydrating oils, deodorants, face masks, shampoos, conditioners, and so much more. Visit their website at sageandelmapothecary.com. That's sageandelmapothecary.com, APOTHECARY, and find out about their upcoming events throughout the year. Allow Sage and Elm Apothecary to provide for all of your plant-based needs. Use promo code AHNWinter20, AHNWinter20 for a special discount. Gain knowledge in minutes with Blacklist Ed. Blacklist Ed is an app that provides insightful summaries of books pertaining to the Black experience. As Black people, we know the importance of reading books to discover our incredible contributions to world history, to uplift our self-esteem, and to empower ourselves for our relentless fight for social justice. Unfortunately, with our busy lives, it feels like there is never enough time to read a book. Fortunately, there's a solution. With Blacklist Ed, their app provides key insights from best-selling books about the Black experience, therefore saving you time, increasing your knowledge, and empowering yourself through inspirational and actionable ideas. You can read or listen on the go. Start your free trial today by going to blacklisted.com. That's Black without the C, B-L-A-K. Or you can download the Blacklist Ed app from the App Store or Google Play. Blacklist Ed, empower yourself.